today's gonna be a still. I also posted today that finally all the letters of the alphabet are uploaded and accessible through Giphy stuff for stickers, which means that Instagram stories, Snapchat stuff, TikTok, you can search in stickers and should be able to find various things that various letters. If you search alphabet loops, all one word, no spaces, you can add those animated stickers to your whatever you want to. It's open-ended, and I hope people don't abuse it, because I have no control over what people use it for. I don't know what to do for today. Let me look back at what my most recent things are. I did the radial face yesterday, and then it's a number of animations. Let's see, in live shirts. Did some figures not that long ago, some blockheads. Maybe I'll do a smaller, more detailed Faceloops and a bigger Faceloops. I think that might be the route to go about it. So, smaller, more detailed Faceloops, I guess we'll go first. That just means using this guy. This is one of my few. I might have to refill it or adjust it a bit, but that's weird. Sometimes the ink is a little bit odd, or it acts up in different ways. It can be a little bit finicky, but that has more to do with me not maintaining the pen more so than the pen itself. But this is a technical pen, or pedograph pen. And you can see how the line quality is a bit different when it comes to just how it behaves on the paper and such. It's a little bit more like a dry point or something. Oops. Whatever. I got distracted by a text coming through. Funny little element, if you know to look for it. Let's see if I'm able to do this. Not necessarily without lifting up the pen, but keeping the orientation of the paper the same. It'll make for a more interesting time lapse. And it's a different exercise. a little bit wonky. Ooh, okay. That was a fun one. Just kept going and going. Now let's do a couple that are biggins. I'll do one or two that are sketched out a little bit. I want to kind of do. I've been enjoying when I make it like a tiny face on a big boy. So like a big head, but then the face only occupies a very small amount in the middle. I like how those look. They're funny to me. All these are in this. Sorry for that noise. I have to sort of rediscover or reorganize a bit because I reorganize, but that means that I'm a little bit confused as to like where all my stuff is a little bit because I get so much into a settled bit of understanding of things that if I break those sort of organizations that aren't really organized, it's just sort of its own chaotic bit, then I get mildly disoriented. Let's rough this up a bit. This kind of heftily doused. Now let's go. Let's make it I like this sort of relationship of things where the face is tiny. Let's try having the components be as large as possible compared to the face. This looks more like a little pit bull or something. Or bulldog maybe. And let's try one that's more just do one going this way. Yeah, not necessary. Let's try sketching it out a little. Yeah. See what the action is if I physically sort of define some areas. Measure it out. 8.5 by 11. 11 divided by 3 is 3 2/3. 3 2/3. So let's just do it 3.5, 3.5, 3.5. I haven't done too much by means of like the Lupin sort of faces against a grid. Maybe a loosely implied one, but not one that's explicitly drawn out. And so That might be interesting to showcase or experiment with. Let's first try about some new Sharpies, and this is very nice to have a fresh Sharpie. Okay, and then just in half, it's 8.5, but 8.5 divided by 2 is 4 1/4. 4 1/4 down here as well. Sketch it down across. And it should be dark enough to where I can get away with just putting this on top of another sheet of printer paper. Might not show up super clearly on the camera, but I can see it. Oh, I never turned on this guy. Make sure all these are at their full brightness. Ah, one wasn't. Okay. Now, this is the one that's being used. I'm not used to going against a grid. Let's get some more paper. So, thinner paper down here. It's actually advantageous. So I'm going to sketch these out. Concept-wise, it's like an eye, an eye, an eye. I'm going to have to rethink this if I'm actually treating it as evenly distributed. So I need to break something into thirds, but it needs to be actually smaller than this piece of paper. So let's make it just an even 9. So that's easier to divide. It's divisible by 3 evenly. Did I go an inch out? Not quite. Or just about an inch. One, 4, 7, 10. Still not that much space. There we go. Thinner. Let's make it tiny. Let's see if I can, what it looks like if I'm making these evenly distributed spots. 1, 2, 3, 4. Trying to make this something more mathematic. These are 2 apart. Let's make the center nose bits 1 inch apart, which means going 1/2 inch off either side. I'm just saying what a more planned version of this might look like. It's here or there. If I want to make it completely even, then I'd go another 1/2 inch off of here for where the nose comes, or the ear comes down. Should go like a slightly larger gap. Let's go full inch. And then it comes in 1/2 inch. Let me see what this looks like with some ink thrown on it. That is that guy. The one that's in business. This has a sort of calmness to it that isn't as present when I'm working completely freehand. I don't know how much of that calmness is just me taking a moment to think through things a bit more. This is a closed loop. This one pushes further out. It's not 100% even, but anyway, not too much going on with these guys. There's this one, which I like, and that one I like the sort of behavior of it. The other ones aren't my favorites of today. I like it better that way. Let me go ahead and scan these. I can come back to that later to make it a little bit cleaner or intentional. But for the moment, just scan these guys. Make two shirt designs that you can get at. Image capture, show this. Does not need to be in color. Last thing I scanned was in color. And that's not my deal. Black and white. 1200. Let's just do a full scanner so I don't have to reevaluate in a minute. Other. Today is the 10th of 1-10-2021. Copy that. Folder. Faceloops. Scans. Choose that spot. 10. Faceloops. Scan. Dash. Scans. And so the computer on the scanner, because it's scanning at a higher resolution, and if I don't, that means that if I do anything with it, it'll adjust the position of the paper and cause some distortion. Okay, now let's do this one. I want this to be the orientation. I'll figure out in a minute if I did this correctly for what I want. But let's scan. There's not so much work to be done with these because they're line drawings, and the outline is a thing. I don't have to go in and fill. I'll just adjust the brightness and darkness a little bit, and that'll be pretty much it for today. Today's a faster one, because I'm doing a less complex illustration, and just an illustration in general. What did I do yesterday? Doing these every day means that I have a weird sense of time. Let's see, Photoshop open, nothing is actively going right now. So window capture, and let's at least open one of these. I'm guessing that the other one didn't actually load into this spot. That's in the right spot, but this one isn't. Faceloops end. Okay. Let's darken this a bit. For the moment, I'm just gonna crop this down to here. See if there's any particular crop it down just a little bit more. As little as possible, just to try and eliminate the paper edge. And let's open up the other one. And position it such that it is all in frame as best as possible. Okay, I'll let that settle. Darken this a bit. Not quite as much, maybe. Let's see how the paper texture is present either. Okay, let's make this a little bit smaller for the moment. Save these out. Save JPEG and that GIF. And this one is JPEG, not GIF. I'm so used to saying tone that GIF because most of them are. Wait, let me make a new one. This is image slideshow. Make that invisible for the moment. Time between slides, make it that. Transition 400. Image files. Add files. Desktop. Web designs. Oop. Give me 1 second. I need to keep my file organization consistent, which means that these guys thrown there, and to rename this guys. Okay. Add files. Open these guys. Scale them down a little bit so that they fit on screen, even a little bit smaller. And now you can see it. Window capture 2. And more or less just seeing what's underneath here, but in the scanned version with a slightly better image quality and such. So, shorter deal today. Not too much happening, but I'm still going to throw these out here on the side in case you as a viewer are interested. So, spiel time. If you want to watch this live stream or previous live streams in full, you can go to youtube.com/Faceloops. If you want to buy this design or similar designs on t-shirts or some other things, you can go to Faceloops.com/store. If you are wanting to buy something from that store, just ask a general question, and if you want to buy something from the store and have it shipped outside the US, or you just have a general question about things, you can email me traceloops@traceloops.com. If you want to follow me on other platforms, I have an Instagram.com/Traceloops. And Traceloops on most things. And then you can also follow me on TikTok.com/@Traceloops. I have to remember that they have a slightly different naming convention. Also, those links, if you're watching on Twitch, I've got all those things linked out on my channel page. And most other things I've interconnected as well. So, shorter one today. I try to make things generally last at least like 30 minutes maybe. And that's right about where we're at currently. I'm trying to... I might have a little bit of a difference in the display stuff come tomorrow. Depends on whether or not some things that I ordered arrived. And then even after that, I might be reconfiguring a bit. But anyway, thank you all for watching. I'll plan on being back tomorrow with some sort of animation or longer form, something or other. Since I've finished the letters of the alphabet, I might, in like a little bit, come back to do the numbers. But for the time being, I don't know. I'll figure something out. But thank you all for watching, and I'll plan on being back tomorrow. Alright, stop streaming.